Hi everyone, I've missed you at Sunday school, but I brought you something today. It's a sand dollar. I used to love collecting them on the beach. It was so special to find one. Usually when you find them, they're broken to pieces, and it was rare to find a whole one, but I cherished it so much when I did. I have a book for you today. It's entitled The Legend of the Sand Dollar by Chris R. and illustrated by Rick Johnson. It has beautiful illustrations. I really want you to be able to see this. The Legend of the Sand Dollar. Why can't Mom and Dad take us to the beach? Carrie sniffled. It's only 2 days, whispered Margaret, and they'll come and get us on Easter morning. Carrie tried not to cry. Every few years, her family went to Aunt Jane's house near the beach. I'll just think about playing with Cousin Jack, she told herself. I'll just think about the ocean. But her tears still fell as the bus took her farther and farther away from her mom and dad. Have you ever felt like that? Early the next morning at Aunt Jane's, Carrie went out to look at the boats on the river. Carrie still missed her parents, but soon she heard the put-put-put of an engine coming toward her from upstream. Cousin Jack! Carrie, Jack hollered, what do you think about my new boat? It's not very big, she yelled back. Then it's perfect for you. He took her hand as she climbed on board. The river opened to the wide bay. Hang on, Jack yelled. Suddenly, the ocean lay before them, as broad as the sky. A small island appeared in the distance. The waves lapped against the shore as Jack beached the boat. What's this? Carrie called, holding up a round object. That's a sand dollar, Jack whispered. A sand dollar? Carrie eared. This isn't money. Right, said Jack. It's a starfish that used to live in the ocean. How do they get here? Carrie asked. When the tide goes out, it leaves sand dollars behind, Jack says. Why are they called dollars? She asked. Well, real dollars used to be round, said Jack, and they were made of silver. But sand dollars have value too. Then I guess we're rich, Carrie teased. Well, in a way, he answered. The sand dollar tells a story, the greatest story of all. Can you see the Easter lily that's on that side? It's like a trumpet saying, Jesus is alive. Now look at the middle of the lily. There's the star from the east that led the wise men to Christ. We remember Jesus' birth on this side too. See the Christmas flower? Both sides of the sand dollar tell the Easter story. See the 4 nail holes and a 5th hole made by a spear? Those remind us that Jesus died for us. Now hold out your hand, said Jack, and watch very carefully. He broke open one of the sand dollars, and 5 white shapes floated down. See the doves? This is the new life, the promise of Easter. As Jesus lives again, so can we. And these doves remind us to spread his promise and his hope to all people. See the doves? Oh no, Carrie cried. We dropped them. Jack wasn't worried. The high tide will leave more over and over, and I have a whole bucket full back home. As the tide rushed ashore again, Jack helped Carrie back into the boat, pushed it off the beach, and jumped inside. The boat crested the top of each wave, hung in the air, then swooped down like a ride on a roller coaster. But all the way back, Carrie could only think about the sand dollar and how valuable it really was. That night, the moon rose full across the water. "You know what?" asked Jack. "Your parents aren't that far away, like the moon and the tide. But the moon is far away from the ocean." "They're still connected," Jack explained. "The moon's gravity is what pulls the tide high." "From that far away?" "That's how the tide works." "Like how God can remind us that He is close too," whispered Carrie, thinking of the sand dollar. The next morning, Carrie put a sand dollar into her sister's hand. "Happy Easter, Margaret," she said. "Thanks, Carrie." Carrie smiled and asked, "Do you see the Easter lily?" "An Easter lily?" "Yeah, and inside there are little doves. I'll tell you the whole story." And as they waited for their parents, Carrie shared the good news with her sister. Soon, Margaret smiled too. And that's the end of this legend of the sand dollar. I hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.